the sound. We send him in the bathroom with his laptop.
Oh, he's in Phoenix?
Yeah. He was here shooting yesterday. I mean, Monday, Tuesday. And,
Did you show him a picture?
huh? I showed him
Did you
one.
show him a
I
picture?
showed him one of them, and I said, "Chris, we got to do something, man. We can't continue like this. This is not happening." I want to say this though before I start anything, King. First of all, thank you for making the time, and you look like your face is finally getting away from that Mr. Puffiness.
You said that last time. This is
Yeah.
exactly what you said to me last time.
Yeah, but now it's even more. So are you trimming down, you slimming down, or are you just losing body fat? What is it?
I got back on a not a competition diet, but just a cleaning up diet.
Right. Yeah, it changes your face drastically. I mean, you look at least 10 years younger.
Appreciate it.
No, for real though, because it changes your face. When you have a puffy face, like I'm not gonna say no names.
What's the subject matter? Are we going to talk about everything? We talk about the Arnold.
We talk about. Listen, we can talk about everything. But first of all, number one subject for me today is the Arnold Classic. 2024 Arnold Classic just wrapped up. Unbelievable weekend. Numbers were back to pre-COVID and even better. For when it comes to numbers of vendors, I think they broke the record with 680, if I'm not mistaken. And like the show was awesome. I think we have a lot to talk about. So why don't we just dive right in? You guys want to start with the Open or you want to start with Classic? What do we start with? Let's go to let's go to Classic first. Wesley Wizards beats Ramon Dino. Huh?
What about what's happening with Samson?
Hold on. Let's. What do you mean? What's happening with Samson?
He's not going to do the UK now.
Okay, I don't know about that. Let's talk about the Classic first. Yeah. That's another thing we're going to talk about. Wesley Wizards comes out of basically nowhere and upsets the whole card. Ramon Dino, champion from last year, came back. Urs Kalaczynski was there trying to get that title, and he ended up in third. What do you guys think? Wesley Wizards, is he the guy that's able to stand next to Chris Bumstead? And since he's taller, outsize Chris Bumstead, or what do you guys think? I'm going to Kamali first. He's the guest.
I liked everything that I saw from him. I thought the improvements were excellent. I thought he shined on stage. Personally, I had Dino winning.
Me too.
Especially after the night show. I had Dino winning. Listen, I had nothing to do with this Classic. I have no biased opinions. There's no Iranian in the show. Put all that stuff aside. I'm just looking at it as a fan. I'm looking at what I saw. I was listening to your comments in the broadcast, and I agreed with you, Dennis, 1,000%. I think when you look at the overall package, there's pose for pose, the improvements. Dino wasn't twitching on stage. The twitching was at a minimum this time. I had him winning.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the prejudging, which we didn't do the broadcast for prejudging. This year was the first time. So I got a chance to sit literally right behind the judges in first row and look at them on a different light, stage light, at the expo. It was perfect light. And I remember saying that I see them giving it to Dino because Dino, he was on. It's not like he was off. But I said this. I said, I would not be surprised if they give it to Wesley Wizards. And when I saw it on the screen for the broadcast, which is different, the screen and the stage is different, guys. I'm telling you. So I saw what you saw, King. You watched the live stream. So it looked like Dino was the clear winner to me. But like I said, by just looking at it prejudging, the condition and the thin skin that Wesley had, he stood out. I got to tell you, he stood out. Now, when you think about Classic,
Dennis, I was right next to you.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah. So when you think about Classic, is how far do you want to go back? If you want to go back all the way to Arnold's time, I see Arnold right there in Wesley Wizards. Arnold, I know he said he reminds him of Lou Ferrigno, but Arnold really wanted to say that he reminds him of himself.
Yeah, I agree.
That was clear. But listen, okay, Dennis, I was sitting right next to you at the prejudging, and we actually watched them. So it's not just that you see the screen, you see them live.
Right.
But what is about Wesley VISSERS? He gets ripped that next level, super striated, shoulder, chest, everything. I mean, crazy. He's a little bit wider waist and a little bit smaller legs overall. So when but then again, resemblance to Arnold, and Arnold is epitome of classic bodybuilding. I think about it, right? So I saw what you two did. Ramon winning on completeness. Stronger legs. Wesley is much wider. So he takes up more space, and he had a more V taper and all that stuff. And maybe he pulled the trick that his legs looked just big enough because they were separated all the way through. Glutes are striated. I mean, great condition. After all, there was a 1-point decision. I think it's good for the sport. I still think if I was judging, I would give it to Ramon.
So now let me ask you this. This is going to Chris because I want him to pay attention. Chris, if Wesley Wizards beats an in-shape Dino and an Urs, what does that mean for the Olympia? He was added to the Olympia battle last minute. So what do you think? Is he a threat? Can he beat those guys again at the Olympia? Does that mean one of those top 2 and 3 from last year can end up in 4th or possibly 5th?
I mean, I think it's going to be something like what Gunther did when he beat Ron at the show in the GNC.
Yeah.
It ended up being something like that. Like when the dust.
Go ahead, Chris.
When the dust cleared Olympia, I think maybe that they'll have those same usual suspects, and then he'll be right there in the mix of something like that. I mean, because they're still from the glutes to the kneecap from the back. I still didn't see much on actually Dino or Wesley when I was watching from my eyes. As far as like separation in the hamstring and stuff, I know the front on Wesley was a little bit more separated than Dino. And when they came out, they never really moved them around. I never really seen too many prejudges where they just kept that same floor in the same spot they walked out in. So I was a little puzzled with that.
Did you see prejudging, Chris?
That was in the front row.
I didn't even see you there. Did you?
Yeah, we were front row too.
Yeah, where
We
were
were
you?
on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Maybe another side.
Okay.
I was on the brighter side of the stage because the right side was darker.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Right. Darker.
so you don't think that Ramon and Wesley had enough separation in the glutes and hamstrings?
Not the glutes. I said from the glute to the kneecap.
So that's the hamstring in between.
Okay. We all know that from the back is how you present it, how you show it. There's those 3 muscle lines.
Yeah. And Wesley way too close for his height.
Yeah, but listen, this is the thing. When you pose glutes and they disconnect, they squeeze the glutes and they disconnect the hamstring. So you can see them when they move around. I think they were great condition. I mean, top 4, Jesus Christ. I mean, classic physique always brings the crazy conditioning. BREON was
the most conditioned guy in the show with Wesley together.
Yeah. He was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
BREON's back double biceps was superior to every other guy on that stage. In my eyes, that's my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was. It was. But you know, the thing is, I think they're trying to hide. I think the judges put. Okay, so this is my thing with the whole thing with BREON. The eye tests tell you, look at BREON. Look at the muscularity. Look at the lean muscle, mature muscle that you see, and it jumps out at you. You know, most of the poses, at least from the front and the back double biceps for sure. Sometimes can get lost in the side chest, just because he, is a smaller statured guy. But I mean, I want to walk away being like, my eye test told me this guy was better than fourth.
Where did you see BREON? As a guy that works with him, trains him, where did you see him placing?
At least second.
Second place. King, what do you think?
BREON's conditioning is off the charts. I'm not sure if I had him in second, but BREON's conditioning was off the charts. But to go back to, you guys just made a great point. You said if the standard of classic is Arnold Schwarzenegger, if that is the gold standard that everybody goes by, then you can tell where they're leaning towards. That's why the Wesley was put where he was put. I still have Dino winning because many factors, and one of the factors that I put in there was the fact that if they are only pulling out Dino and Bumstead, that it's been that close for the past couple of years, that's got to say something for the person that's in fantastic. There was nothing wrong with Dino. We all admit that. He looked fantastic. Wesley just came on at his absolute best. I think it's going to come down to a conditioning of muscularity for the classic. Wesley, if he keeps improving another % or two with the same conditioning, he can out-muscle Bumstead. And I think that might be very interesting at the Olympia. He might be able to out-muscle.
Do you think...
They both have long arms.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, King.
And I think Wesley is about, what, inch and a half, 2 inches taller than Chris? How tall is Chris? 6'1" or 2"?
I think about 6'1".
Okay, so Wesley is 6'3". So he's going to stand out. He's going to stand out height-wise already, and he's got the width. He's got everything. And what I really, really loved about Wesley was, and he's been great, the last 2-3 years. He's just never really got that look. I think for him doing the Arnold was exactly what he needed to do to get next to these guys and get compared. And what I like about Wesley is he poses. Everything about him is classic. The way he hits the shots, the way he positions his legs, the way he hides his weakness. It's, for me, the perfect classic opposing physique. Now, would I like to see him with a smaller waist? Yes. Is that ever possible? No. Because he just has that little blocky waist, and that's why he does all these twisting shots, twisting front, twisting back, everything, and it looks perfect. But that's why I
didn't like...
You didn't?
That twisted front. I didn't like that one. That was... You can't get him.
Come on, man. He looks almost like Arnold.
Yes.
Dennis and I were... Listen, Dennis and I were comparing exactly that picture with Barry May post. Hey, what is Arnold talking about? Bessie looks like...
Listen, the thing is, though, Arnold's torso was basically picture perfect. It was prototypical of what you want.
From the front? From the front, too? Is that what you're saying?
Wesley don't have that picture perfect torso.
Okay. Listen, if you're talking about that, you talk about the levels to the game, and Dennis and I recognize Arnold just did 100 points out of 100. Everything is an exact perfect line angle and so. And Wesley is trying to emulate that look, but you could still see it's a little bit off. But by all means, I think that should be classic pose, of the choice, because you can't hide your stomach, right? And this should be valued much more than it is. That side double biceps that Arnold did. But okay, King, you said that Wesley can outmuscle Bumstead. Well, his legs definitely would not. They're not at the same level. So immediately lower body goes to Chris. That's a no-brainer. The taper of Chris Bumstead is next level. I mean, he's put at one of the best, at all-time best, bodybuilding included, in the front lat spread, right? So back double biceps that Chris Bumstead has established after 2019, he was weak. In 2020, he came with a, different back, and he's repeating this time after time. Shoulders are wide, shoulders are round. Arms are not as good as Wesley's, but somehow, Chris always managed to hide it somehow. It's not like point of your attention. Chris is a standard of bodybuilding. Dino was the closest to him for years. Dino brings the condition always. So this was kind of question mark what they're trying to do, to steer it up. Like Chris, you said that they wanted Gunter Schreckamp and Jay Cutler to go 2003 Olympia, with unbeatable Ronnie Coleman and maybe beat him. And then Ronnie came at his all-time best. Wesley is superbly conditioned. Dennis, I agree with you, as classic as they come. What would you do for him? He needs to grow his legs a little bit, especially if he's going to fight with Chris Bumstead. That's how I see it.
Milos, you think that Wesley is not more muscular than Bumstead? He's got more muscle than Bumstead. You don't think so?
He has a better arms. What else?
Back.
Back
I think
double.
they're back double
is great.
bicep.
Back is great, but that's Chris's strongest point.
The back double bicep?
I might have to say this.
I don't think back double bicep is Chris's strongest
His
point.
strongest point is his last spread in the side chest.
Yes,
Not
That is correct. That's what I think.
Milos, yes. I mean, Wesley's back double biceps
But by his coach.
was a no.
It's terrible.
Listen to me.
wrong, brother.
Wesley Wizard's back double biceps was standout. That's one of his.
Yeah.
That's one of
I've
his.
seen
That's
it.
one of Wesley's. Other than this classic poses, that's one of Wesley's strongest poses. And I think that if you
And Chris is too.
and listen, yes, Chris has a good back double biceps, but I think when you stand them next to each other, you can really see who is where. I'm not saying Wesley's
And
going to
Chris
beat Chris. I'm just saying that Wesley's giving Chris a competition in height. I've never said he's going to give him a competition in physique, but in height. And when you have the height and you have the width, and you have a lot of muscle, which Wesley really has. He has a lot of muscle. You don't. Chris, you saw him close up. Who was the biggest guy yesterday?
Wesley.
Yeah. So, and he also has great detail, deep separations.
Yeah.
He looks like fresh. His body looks like this is untouched, so to speak. You know what I mean? You see every
Trying to rely on his superior posing. Because Chris is better at posing than this guy. And Chris is going to rely on his lower body is going to be more dominant. And also, when he messes around and do the front last barrier against Chris, it's going to not be good for Wesley. And when he do back double bicep, Wesley's going to be more muscular than Chris.
Yeah.
And then the front double bicep, Wesley might even look right there, if not a little better than Chris.
Okay, yeah. Listen, we're not predicting here that Wesley is going to win the Olympia. We're saying anything is possible. We saw that this last weekend. And my main thing is for the top three guys, top 2 and 3, which was Ramon and Urs, losing again to Wesley. What does that mean for the Olympia? Can Wesley end up in second behind Chris Bumstead? Yes, absolutely, I think. Absolutely. He beat him this year already, and if he can duplicate that, and maybe add a little bit of fullness in the quads, you never know what's happening.
I think Wesley won also Romania, right? After the Olympia. That's the classic. He did one.
That's how he
shows.
qualified. Yeah, that's how he qualified.
And Dennis, a question to ask, a good question to ask will be, can Dino improve to the Olympia? What does Dino need to do to improve? That's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty much there.
Yeah.
Wesley, we all just agreed, if he brings his legs up a little bit, could be a little bit more dominant when his symmetry will even look even better. So Wesley has room to improve. Dino, we're not sure because he looks like there's nothing wrong. Everything is there.
Yeah.
That's why, again, I'm thinking the Wesley thing is going to be really, really important.
If I compare Dino from last year's Arnold, not even the Olympia, last year's Arnold and this year's Arnold, I would have to say that last year's Arnold, he was a little more crisp and dry. Whole body. So, because when he stood next to Urs last year, he stood out in his condition. That was his strong point last. But so maybe he wasn't as conditioned, but still fucking great condition. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying that this is the only thing that I saw is that last year he was maybe, 2 to 3, 4 pounds lighter than he was this year.
Well, Chris had to leave with unexpected death in the family.
Yep.
And that might have had something to do with him being probably a little bit more stressful than normal. And I think he could have been a little bit more sharper, a little bit.
So
and
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I think he needs to utilize his abs better, in a better way. He's totally like focusing on the front part of his abdominal wall, not the rest of the abs, and he's doing it like every time. You know.
And Chris, BREON threw a lot of people off. He was so fucking conditioned that he made some of the good conditioned guys look like they were a little bit off.
Right.
So put that fact.
Did you see that back double bicep when he was up there by himself and he just went like?
I think his back double bicep and his front, when he does this from the front and he puts his leg up to the side, I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
His conditioning was next level.
Yeah. I somewhat feel bad for BREON because he's coming in, he's taking it on the chin every year. He comes back, he looks better again, and he's still taking it on the chin. So I feel bad.
I wish we could have had. I feel bad. I feel like I wish he could have been a part of that that classic, get together here at the Olympia battle. I lobbied for him to be in the Olympia battle, and I kept getting roadblocks. So,
listen, he should be.
I just think he's good. I think he's good because they kind of sleeping on his greatness when it's like he's a two-time Olympia champion. It's not like he won a couple shows and then he's just the older guy hanging around type of guy, and he works his ass off. He works his ass off,
and it shows. It shows.
I don't care a lot about a lot of people, even if I train them or not. I'm telling you, this guy is a fucking beast in the gym, and the cardio, and the consistency, and the nonstop pursuit to keep his weight under control. And you never really seen him off. He's been a little off in my eyes one time or so, but that was just from overeating, and it wasn't like a condition thing. But I just know how much this guy puts in it, and you need guys like that to set the standard for what bodybuilding is all about, is that type of dedication year round.
So, but where does he go from here?
Okay, listen, that's a close fort, contesting top three guys. Hey, somebody has to be first, and somebody has to be second, and somebody has to be fourth. He left impression guarantee. I mean, so this is, let's not talk about how normal fans think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 is definitely better than third and fourth.
No shit.
Yeah, the difference. Yeah, that's listen, is super small changes.
I understand.
Like
I understand, but if you're in BREON's position now, when you look at the videos and pictures, I mean, arguably, there's a lot of people saying that he should have got no less than third. So Urs, when we look at Urs wasn't at his best. The Urs from last year was better than the Urs this year. That's the way I saw it. I don't know how you guys saw that. His legs were great, but his upper body wasn't, let's say maybe not worse, but he did not improve in his upper body. That's what it looked like to me because his condition wasn't quite as crisp as he was normally. So is his structure so much better to keep even and BREON at his all-time best away?
I don't think it should be like that. I think in the classic division, you can't go this guy like this guy like that, and in the middle you got a guy that's so structurally sound that you can hold off a guy that's so much more conditioned. But
I brought up this point before, Chris. You think about it because you were with BREON even 2019, right? 2019 when Chris Bumstead won and BREON was second, George Peterson was third.
Oh, that's when Chris started the war.
Allegedly.
They turned around. Hey, they did that back double biceps, and George Peterson and BREON had a crazy back, arms, and everything. And Chris Bumstead at that time did not have neither back or arms.
Right.
Okay, he wins. And then in the review, I was thinking like, okay, how on earth in bodybuilding this could happen? I said, that's not bodybuilding. That's classic. We are looking for different things. We're looking for structure. So if you look at 2019 Chris Bumstead beating them and in backdoor biceps, it was not even comparable. I mean, in bodybuilding contests, it would not even be compared. Chris would be put on the side. You don't deserve this comparison, this kind of thing. And then he wins. So fast forward now, maybe that was the issue with Earth beating BREON in the same boat.
A lot of people saying because he got the big fan base.
No, listen. Let's not.
I'm just telling you what a lot of people are saying.
I know, but listen, the judges don't go by off your fan base. Let's not put this in the room like this is what we believe. I believe there's some other factors. That's why I'm looking forward to Tyler making the video in Classic.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that video because I want to see what it is that they see in Earth that they didn't see in BREON. It can't be conditioned.
I think, Dennis, that they're going to say exactly what Milos just said. I think they're going to say it's a structural thing. It has nothing to do with conditioning. It has nothing to do with muscularity.
And he's that much of a bum. How does he have all these titles?
Okay.
How do you win auto? How do you win Olympics?
King, you've been in the game long enough. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
What structural flaws does BREON have over Earth or Ramon or Wesley?
When BREON poses, he doesn't look like he is a 1970s classic guy to me. He looks more like a new, upgraded version of classic in the 2020-24, what we call it here, in the current. That's what he looks like to me. And I think that's what the judges are saying. I think that's what Milos is saying. They're looking for that. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain. What our eyes think is classic. I look at classic and I see Wesley. Yeah, that's a classic look. I see BREON and I see an incredible bodybuilder with supreme conditioning. I didn't have him at fourth, by the way. I had him in third.
Okay, so do you agree with what Fuad said that BREON looks more like a 212 guy?
No, I don't think he's 212.
Well,
I think BREON is just right there. It's hard. It's hard to explain. He is just he's teeter-tottering in the center of something, and I think that's what the judges are seeing too. They want to go a certain direction, or I think they want to go in a certain direction with structure, and they just don't see it in BREON. But at the same time, BREON is making it very hard for them because he's coming in incredible fucking condition. So they're like, he's giving the judges a hard time, a real hard time.
But they like him 2 times. He won 2 Olympias before, right? So that was, paragon of classic. But here, there's a difference from classic physique and classic bodybuilding. So if you look classic bodybuilding, you think Serge Nubret, right? Kind of thing. So a little bit more muscle. So if I didn't hear Fuad, but if that's what he's saying, and I know that Chris heard that before too, or BREON should go into 212. And I think BREON would be super competitive in 212 also.
Yeah, but they said that because he had a really, really hard time to make weight. That was the reason why they probably said that. Not because he looks more 212 than classic. It's just because he was killing him. And Chris, I think I heard from you that he's still suffering to make weight, even though he's got a 5-pound extra now or whatever that was. What weight does BREON, when you see BREON coming down, at what weight does he look his best?
$95.
So it's far away from 212. Yeah, it's going to be hard, if they complain. Listen, if they're complaining about BREON's legs being a little bit too small, then what do you think is going to happen in the 212? Where this guy's standing next to him with tree trunks.
Is this a complaint? Dennis, is this a complaint?
I'm not saying this is a complaint, but I think that's what they're saying. Are saying that he needs to bring his quads up just a little bit.
Well, you're gonna have to jimmy him up like a lot of people do. I don't know.
What is that? What is that going to do?
Jimmy him up. That makes it swell a little bit more. I don't know what real bodybuilding is.
What those Egyptians are doing, whatever the hell those Egyptians are doing, he needs.
Because let's look at Kamali. Never really had a lot of going on in the front of his quads.
Who?
Askanani never really had a lot going on in front of his.
True.
Then Dexter Jackson, when he got older, his legs were downsized from when it was when he was at his prime.
So are you saying
little,
are you saying Dexter jimmied his legs up too? How would you jimmy up your legs? That's what I want to know from you, Chris, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know how, because I wasn't that guy. I don't know
King,
how.
King, you have an idea what people would use to jimmy up their legs?
I've asked this question when I went to the Middle East, and people who contact me, I talked to a lot of the Iranians, and I asked them this question specifically, and their answer to me was, there's something, I forgot the name of it, and I swear to you, if I'm going to make it, as soon as we get off this podcast, I'm going to contact a couple guys. There's a substance they all take. I forgot what it was.
Huh?
I don't know what it is, Milos, but it's the same word that kept coming up over and over again. And they said that it only works in the quads too. That's what they swear. It only works in the quads. I'll figure it out and I'll text it to you guys.
Milos, you know what that is, Milos?
No, I mean, I just assume, because every time when I hear guys, and I had a super bad example and experience with the Synthol, we talk about this. It's, guys, do not put anything, it's going to backfire on you. You're going to sell yourself.
I don't think it's Synthol.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't Synthol.
No substance should get into the healthy tissue. Forget about it. To get that, what? Swelling, inflammation, what?
Whatever it is that's causing a leg to have a bicep.
Yeah, it's not going to be anatomically correct. It's noticeable. I mean, judges, listen, let's just mention this. Let's mention this.
Don't know. Let's just stop that. Judges don't know.
Judges are doing a phenomenal job. It's no, Kisa, we're going to talk now about open.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and what Tyler Manning is doing, going and explaining, educating, giving us insights, what they see, what they're looking for. They notice every little thing. So we are still a little bit fans, a little bit, we have mine on our own, some, like Chris and I, being biased and all that shit, it comes with territory, right?
Well, I wasn't biased at all. So I can tell you from how I felt. And I said it on the live stream. And, I had to say it in different words. I didn't want to cheerlead or anything like this. But for me, when we did the predictions for 12 weeks, I had HADI winning every week until the last week. I said, I think Samson is going to beat him. And because I saw videos of HADI where I thought his waist expanded just enough for him to lose his flow. And I thought so because maybe he put on too much weight. But when I saw this guy step on stage, I'm going to keep it real. That was, for me, the best HADI to ever been on stage. Was he as ripped as he was in Vancouver? Maybe a couple of percent off. But he was so big, so much bigger, so much fuller, and held his poses phenomenal. I think it was, and I wanted to say it right there, but I couldn't. But I didn't think it was even close. But like I said, I watched the screen. I watched the screen. So, but even on the screen, you can still see what the other guys look like. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has the same. I have to look, at every single one of them through the screen. And HADI just stood out to me.
Dennis, before you say anything else, I got to give you your props. You held that broadcast together, okay? What you were saying was spot dead on. There was a couple of things. I'm not going to say anything about your co-hosts or anything like that. I'm just going to say that I'm going to give you your props. Excellent, excellent job. But I will say one thing. I almost busted my left testicle laughing at that guy, the co-host, talking about, he said to Fuad, he's shrinking about 6 times. And each time, tears are falling down my face. He broke rule number 1. He kept telling Fuad how small he is. And every time he said that, I'm crying laughing because that's bodybuilding. That's bodybuilding rule number 1. That's like calling a girl fat. You don't call a bodybuilder, tell a bodybuilder losing weight. Chris, he said it 3 times. He said to Fuad, he goes, I gotta say, Fuad.
He was joking. He was
really small.
I know. But
what happened to you? Lost weight.
But in his defense, it was Todd Harris. He's not a bodybuilder. He has nothing to do with bodybuilding. He's just a good host that can talk.
You should have corrected him. You're the OG on that stage.
Yeah,
man.
but listen.
You don't tell a bodybuilder he's getting small.
No, listen, but
I didn't watch a podcast.
I mean, Ford wanted to lose weight. He was very, very open in saying that he lost 30 pounds. So he's proud of losing 30 pounds. So I think this was actually he took it the right way and looked at it as an shit. I can't think of the damn word right now. As a compliment. As a compliment.
Bodybuilding. That's fine, but you don't tell a bodybuilder on national, the Olympia or the Arnold Classic broadcast that he's getting small.
In the bodybuilding, that's never a compliment.
Yeah. True.
Don't use those words.
True. Listen,
but
let's talk about MILOS. Because you're here right now, so you were 100% convinced that Samson. No. Let me get in there. Let me break it in here. you were.
Let him put it in.
There was no doubt in your mind that Samson will beat HADI at the Arnold this year. You expected the best HADI, the best Samson. Everything was looking great leading up to the show. Now, from your opinion, what happened, or were you happy with what he looked like? Was HADI just so damn good that he couldn't beat him, or did something go wrong? That's what I want to hear from you.
Well, maybe all together, a little bit of everything. But let's first follow up on what you were saying. We were expecting HADI, who is not really aesthetic, not really tall, not really shapely. Maybe he's going to try to get a little bit bigger. And we noticed, you just mentioned many people, Jay Cutler, by adding size, he might be blockier. So we were looking for that maybe blockiness. He came with a waist streamed down, like disappearing. And as you mentioned, we talk about it, he controlled it. He had that vacuum from front, side, back, any which way you look at it, and made his waist look like so small. So he creates V-taper, X-frame, illusion of more aesthetics. And we all know, what is Hadi Chapman known for crazy conditioning since he stepped on the stage? And that conditioning, actually, crazy conditioning, you said Vancouver, it was Korea, there was San Marino, there was many other shows, Olympia 19, 20, 21, didn't get him a title. 22, he showed up off, bigger, and he got a title. So there was maybe that little bit confusion of both. What should he bring? But they did perfect job. I think this is Hadi at his best. Mm-hmm. I mean, somebody even used a term which I never heard before, actually, Hunter Campbell. He says, hey, can anybody be over-conditioned? He's not in the bodybuilding world. So he looked over-conditioned. Like, he's so goddamn conditioned. This is like, dropping in the jaw. That's how he looked.
Yeah, going back to what King mentioned earlier, he was so ripped, he made everybody else look like they're off.
So ripped. And then, so when you look, Samson losing. Who did he lose to? He lost to Hadi Chapman, that really, as I mentioned this before, could have arguably won every pro show he ever entered. And I mean it. And I said that to Phil Heath. Phil Heath was there having breakfast with me, and I said this, look, Hadi could have won every pro show he ever competed, including beating you. I say, he goes, I won't disagree with that. So that's how Hadi is. Now Hadi comes with a smaller waist, more ripped, back improved. I mean, he still needs to improve back for Derek, because Derek is such a fucking freak. But, we watched it. There was vacuums, teeny tiny waist, lats. I don't know what he does. It just, when he activates them, engages them, they just go wide. Like, you don't expect that width on him. And master poser. Look, Arnold was giving him a trophy, and he made sure that he vacuumed and separate the quads and position. You know how he has the right leg is smaller, so you have to put it out and make it look that, they're about the same.
His whole left side is smaller.
No, right side, right leg.
No, I said his whole left Well, his left bicep is small.
I was talking about leg, Chris.
Well,
Anyway,
nobody's
but-
100% equal on both sides anyway. So
Yeah, but
Exactly. So when people make a big deal out of it, I'd be like, yeah, that's what people are like that. Mine was like that too.
so this is Hadi at his best. You think maybe Vancouver? I don't think in Vancouver.
no,
at no
I
point.
only compared him with Vancouver with the condition. I said the condition in Vancouver there was not a drop of water on his body, but now he
There was
has
nothing
almost
here.
Yeah.
He always. I'm going to tell you this and analyze. Go back, see the videos and pictures. Even from like Korea with Flex Lewis, the only pose that Flex would beat him is back double biceps, on a deep.
But you want to know what they criticized him in Korea? What they criticized the most? Not controlling his midsection.
Okay.
So
Well,
yeah.
very good.
So
And
that shows you again how much he worked on himself, and I think losing the Olympia lit a fire that it's going to be hard. I'll tell you this, and this is what I said: if he would have showed up like this at the Olympia, he would be two-time Mr. Olympia right now. I don't think.
There's no question.
I'm not convinced that Derek can beat this version of a Hadi. Because I know Derek needs more quality here, and I don't know how long that's going to take, a couple of more years. But the way he looks,
and quality, Dennis, and quality in the front of the legs too.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Dennis. Let me ask all you guys this: can Derek beat Hadi in the front shots?
no.
Front double bicep, front lat spread, most muscular and abs.
Front double biceps.
That's 4 shots right there.
Front double biceps, you can argue
Yeah.
but the way he opened
Not
up,
this Hadi.
but
Not-
yeah, not this Hardy. Yes, no, cannot.
And
Yeah,
not-
not
does
this
a-
Hadi.
he
So
does
the
a
front
vacuum.
double bicep, front lat spread, most muscular and ab shot. Those are 4 poses
Yeah.
that Hadi can close the door on Derek.
yeah.
So
What
then now,
if Derek does a vacuum?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
it's-
the vacuum,
but
Hardy,
Hadi-
Hardy can do the vacuum, but he can show the abs, and that's what we want to see. With the side,
Yeah.
the obliques, the
So
serratus,
that's Hadi.
everything was nasty. So now from the back,
Hardy can do a vacuum.
I think
Hardy
he
can do
only
a vacuum and-
hold on. From the back, Hardy, I think only loses the back double biceps, not the lat spread. Hardy's lat spread is as wide as he was twice as wide as Samson. So I don't know where he get all that muscle from. When they turned around and he opened up, his lats was so full and so wide that made Samson really look narrow. And he was 60 pounds heavier.
yeah,
Hadi has
that
this-
pose, yeah.
Hadi has this about him. He looks so much bigger than he is, so much wider than he is.
Because of muscularity, because of
and
conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, also, you can have all the muscularity, like Phil Heath would have all the muscularity, but didn't have a width, so it's noticeable. Flex Wheeler didn't have a width, and you can manage to see it. Hadi has that. But to get on the point with Samson, right? Look, Samson lost to former Mr. Olympia, most conditioned guy, known for condition that came at his all-time best. So how bad is we should be depressed and all that stuff. Samson was improved, which Tyler Mannion pointed out. He saw him first in a Pittsburgh week before, and he told me in front of you, Dennis, that he thinks that in Pittsburgh he was a little bit tighter and better. It's possible that was the case, but not by much.
So now, as his coach, Milos, let me ask you straight up. You were in Pittsburgh with him, and you were in Columbus with him. What did you see? Was he better or not?
When I left the room, and I do have that video, when I left the room 2 hours before, I would say he was better here in the room than at Pittsburgh. And that's what I was expecting. And when he came out, there was not exactly that. And then he stands next to goddamn anatomy chart, and this is what it is. Look, did anybody else really outcondition Samson? There was maybe John De La Rosa from the back that you can say, right? But You know, so
I think he got out conditioned by a few guys. To be perfectly honest, I think he got out conditioned by Antoine. I think he definitely got out conditioned on Saturday by AKIM Williams, who looked crazy Saturday. I think
100%,
he got out conditioned by Rafael Brandao. I think he got out conditioned by a lot of guys. Now, here's my question to King. King, is it possible?
Comparable.
Is it possible that him being so dark hurt him on stage?
No, I don't believe in that shit. I keep hearing that over and over again. Amin keeps sending me text messages, and he called me last night because he knew I was coming on the show. He's like, "You got to say something about his skin." Well, okay, then somebody explain to me Nimrod King. Somebody explain to me Orville Burke. Somebody explain to me Renel Jean-Pierre. Somebody explain those. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think, listen, I'll give the example that I think I told a couple of you. I think I sent a message to Milos too. Okay. The year Sean Roden, rest in peace, beat Phil Heath. Was he beating Phil Heath in the front double bicep? Was he beating Phil Heath in the side chest? No. Phil Heath was beating. It's the midsection. It is an illusion. Bodybuilding is an illusion. And when you have when your midsection is not 100%, it throws everything off on your physique. I believe, and I still say it, and I'll say it right now, I'll say it 1,000 times, if Samson was crispy through here, and that would make crispy through here, it's a whole different Samson. And to go back and forget about what I just said, let's go back to Tyler. Tyler, I saw the video that Tyler released. What did Tyler say? He said, "We want Samson conditioned." He didn't say anything else about Samson. He said, "Just come in condition," and no one can stand next to this guy right now.
Right.
I completely agree with that.
That's what we've been saying for a year now, all of us.
Well, Milos is right here. Milos is the man. He is the guy.
But King, you also know that even as a coach, you know, there's still a competitor that you're dealing with, and there's, you know, it's not always, you know, athletes don't always agree with the coach, and you know, and therefore maybe, I don't know, but this is the experience that I have had with athletes before. They don't always follow what you think is the best thing to do because they don't believe in it.
100%. Well, I 100% agree with you. And when I talk to Milos will be the first person to tell you right now what a fan I am of Samson. I communicate with Samson. I send him the stupidest quotes. Something that from the movie Breakin' from 1980, some battle breakdance quote I sent him just to keep him like, and every time Samson will read it and he will text me back, "Thank you, King, I appreciate it. Thank you, King, I appreciate it." So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Samson's when it comes to that. I want to see Samson there too. My question is, it's not about this. When the whole world, and I feel for Milos, my heart goes out to Milos because everybody on this planet is sitting on Milos's shoulders and saying, why isn't he crispy? And when I send messages to Milos is like, I know, I understand that's what I need to do. Now, is Samson doing everything? I don't know. Does Samson have issues with anxiety? I don't know. Does Samson want it? I don't know. All I'm saying is we're looking back, we're sitting back and seeing what's happening right now. If Samson was drier, 1%, 2% drier, it would make all the difference in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that depends. Would 1-2% be enough for this kind of?
I mean, I don't think that Samson can get as detailed as Hadi because that's genetically for Samson maybe not possible. But if Samson can get harder than he was, you know, I mean, if you Milos, if you compare Samson from Prague and from the Arnold, which one was better?
I think it's very comparable. This was bigger version. Again, you don't try to be bigger. Bigger is not always better. It's not, so Dennis, we talk about this, as you know, mentioned many times. I say conditioning. And whatever level of conditioning you have achieved before, it's not enough. You're going to stand next to, you know, freak. There's human striation. You know, and desert.
Yeah, but Milos, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but Cormier standing next to Dexter Jackson, they've had many battles against each other. Dexter was always crispy and grainy, and Chris beat Dexter many times.
That's why
Cormier was never crispy. Cormier was never grainy. Chris was Chris.
Yeah, but Chris, but if you compare the
beautiful speech.
Okay, King, I'm gonna have to defend Chris here for a quick second. If you compare Chris at his best in condition to Samson, I mean that's another level too. Even though he wasn't cross-striated in his glutes, but
Chris, listen, from my eyes, Chris Cormier at his all-time best, and I'm not just saying it because he's here, and I'm not just saying it because I love Chris. Chris Cormier at his all-time best is better than Samson. Chris was another thing. Okay, yeah. I said it to him, and everybody said Chris Mindy, but Samson is close. It's the closest thing we have right now. That's what I'm saying. Hadi is shitting on everybody because of his ultra conditioning and his work ethic. Hadi, nobody trains harder. Nobody, and the combination of that with Hani, and the thing that Hani does, I don't believe in that FST7. I don't care about any of that. What I know about Hani is he's a precision chess master. He'll grab you and say, okay, couple more lines on the abdominals, a little bit more crevice here. Let's do this. Let's do this exercise with this. That's where Hani's specialty come into. That's what he does with Hadi. That's why his waist looks smaller, because his lats was a little bit bigger this time. And his quads were a little bit more sweepier this time. So Hani is a master of finding out what that illusion is. I'm just saying that right now, that Samson is the 1990s of what we had, is the now of Samson. He is that close. Can he take it to the next level? That's in Milos's hands right now.
I think when he does 3/4 shots, this type of thing, and his stomach is kind of relaxed around his belly button.
Not only from the side, Chris, from the front too. That's a problem. Also in the lat spread.
I would even never go straight on. I would be here, and I'd make me go.
Yeah, but
go
Chris,
anywhere.
what's wrong with practicing to keep it in and do it? What's wrong with practicing that pose when you know it's you breathe through your stomach? If you just say, okay, let's not do that.
I don't know what he does in his practicing.
He has a tiny waist, If he could keep his stomach flat in certain poses, like the front lat spread, and in the abs, if he keep the stomach flat, it doesn't have to squeeze the hardest.
Why don't he do a vacuum in a lat spread, Milos?
He tried, didn't like it, because that's Lee Haney's front lat spread, vacuumed, phenomenal.
That's what he's trying to be.
Yeah.
No, well, but he doesn't like it. Look, we all have to be.
Lee Haney's abs spread apart.
Yeah, I know.
Spread, but it looks way. But listen. But when you stand next to a guy who's doing it and you're not, you're lacking.
Again, when you don't try to emulate somebody and you don't chase somebody, you want to be you. That's how Samson's. He doesn't want to go there.
But you're gonna be you. But
he's playing his game. So to answer your question, we were doing a Lee Haney frontal biceps before, if you remember, exactly the way Lee Haney did because of the resemblance. Now he changed with the leg out and looks way better this way, I think. And Tyler Mannion agreed as soon as he saw it. That's it. Front lat spread in the Pittsburgh, we worked on it with Tyler. He was giving him some instructions, right? But here, you have to express yourself, be yourself, not imitate somebody, be authentic. That's always the thing.
But it's not exactly Lee Haney.
It's not exactly. That's why you don't do exactly Lee Haney. But on that note, vacuum on the front lat spread. Of course, I suggested right away. It didn't work for Samson. But again, just to summarize this one, look, Tyler Mannion said he improved, and bigger shoulders, bigger arms. Okay, and right now at this,
we all have eyes.
Wait, let me just finish. Right now, because then I forget what I was going to. Samson has the best physique in the world. That if comes condition that we heard for over a year now, and he's hearing it every time. And when I talk to him, listen, we need to get more condition, not condition that you were ever before, but way further. Like,
I'm sure.
Lose some.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Lose some muscle. right?
I'm sure as an athlete, he must be tired of listening to people saying he needs to get better condition. But hey, if that's if that's what's holding you back, then fucking just go for it. Drop 10 pounds. Drop 10, 15 pounds. You don't need to be 300 pounds on stage. Bring something different. I want to see what he looks like at 285, totally peeled. He might have even better flow than he has right now, and he has control over his midsection. You don't know that. He doesn't need to be 300 fucking pounds.
Milos, what was his weight? What was his contest weight at the Arnold?
You don't want to know.
300. 300.
You don't want to know.
You know that it's traditionally every year he steps on the scale before the flight. And before the Olympia, he was 300 on a dot. This time he was 302.
Before he get on the flight.
Okay. And I told this to
okay, Milos. Before he come from England, he was 302.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was maybe 285 on stage. What are we talking about? He wasn't no 300 pounds then.
Yeah.
So maybe he needs to go down to 275.
Well, whatever it is, let's not focus on the number, right?
Okay, let's compare him with someone else real quick. Because it was closer from Rafael to Samson. It was closer from Rafael to Samson than Samson to Hadi. So let's talk about Rafael. If Rafael, remember I told you this, Milos, before Tyler's video. If Rafael puts on another 5, 7, 8 pounds, he's dangerous. Because he kept his flow, he kept his tiny waist, and then he's dangerous. And Tyler just confirmed it with his video. So, because you didn't think that Rafael was better conditioned than Samson.
It's very, very comparable condition, maybe not. Because of it, listen.
Well, I tell you what I saw. I saw detail in
Rafael.
I saw detail in Rafael that I didn't see on Samson.
Samson did not have a clear serratus and obliques definition.
Even in the quads, I didn't see that deep separation that I saw on Rafael. So, but that's why I'm asking, could this be because, too dark, or maybe the skin's still too thick?
Let's not go there.
But listen. Rafael could have been considered for second place in my eyes because he started coming on that front last spread. But the thing is, Milos, I saw how he beat him before when they were hitting shots up there. I see how that could have happened before.
Yeah, Rafael needs a couple of more pounds. But if he gains that weight, he's dangerous.
How about 20?
No, Milos, you see, you daydreaming again. Stop it. He doesn't need 20 pounds. He does not need 20 pounds to stand next to Samson. Listen, he does not need...
not 5.
I'm telling you.
No, we don't.
Okay, I'm talking 5, 7, 8 quality pounds. Okay, maybe 10. But he definitely doesn't need 20 pounds to stand next to Samson. I guarantee you, if he does the same thing that he did from last year to this year...
But can he do that by the...
I'm not.
Can he do that by the Olympia?
I don't think so. But I'm talking next year. Next year, 2 years.
Because listen, there's only so many amount of pounds you can put on a body. Listen, I think we can all agree that Rafael or whatever it was called, I think he dropped the hammer, and we all know what that means. He dropped the hammer from this year to this year. How many times can you drop the hammer and make those same gains? It's not possible. He might be able to make a little bit more, but he's not going to make that big jump that he did right now.
I mean, Samson did. Keep getting bigger and bigger. So I agree with you. Listen, you were putting Rafael into the classic physique. You were suggesting he should go back.
I said if. Hold on. I said if he comes back again, because he had a record of coming back, and every time he stepped on stage, we all said the same thing. He needs more size. So what I said is, if he comes back again and we still say the same thing, maybe he should think about it. He came back, he put on the size, and he was comparable. Okay. Great. You're an open guy and you're in there, Baba. Congratulations. This is still the open class. This is still a game of muscularity. So if Nick Walker was in there, do you think Rafael would have stood a chance in the muscularity? No. Nick would have shit on him.
Tyler Mannion said Rafael has all 8 mandatory poses very strong, nothing missing. Beautiful shape, V-taper, small waist, round muscle belly, everything is there. But as Tyler concluded, Dennis, there's not even close. He needs to be. So
He never said it's not even close. Come on. He said, Milo, see you making that
because
up.
you were asking, was it close? Was it close? Because you wanted to prove it to me, like it was close.
No. I told you it wasn't close between Samson and Hadi. It was never close. And that was confirmed. And that was confirmed too. It was never close.
Asking Tyler, was it close between Samson and RAFAEL?
It was not.
He said he put together.
Yeah, he said it wasn't close. Yes, and he's not big enough. But that's what that's why I'm saying, and this is what I told you. If he gains the weight, watch out.
Yeah.
So Dennis, hold on, Milos. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. So Dennis, why don't you, since the entire world is asking the same question, why don't we ask Milos that question now that we're all sitting here and talking about it?
Not we. You have the microphone.
What can Samson do? Okay. What can Samson do to take his conditioning from where it is right now that we see to that next level? What does he need to do? Answer that question for all of us. I need to know as a fan.
Suffer. Okay. We all know what.
Great answer.
Suffer is suffering. Diet down like you never dieted before. Do more cardio and that's it. Sacrifice some. Look, he was never flat. He can lose. He doesn't plan to put the muscle on, and he puts the muscle on. So of course he should sacrifice a little bit extra muscle. There he is. He should sacrifice little muscle and come more ripped.
Yeah, but now see this whole scenario reminds me of a Ramy before he finally somewhat nailed his condition in 2020, because he never suffered. And he was suffering to the point where he wanted to give up every other day. He said, I'm going home. I can't take it no more, And then once you get on that stage and you win that title, then you understand that, listen, this is what I have to do in order to win,
Everything.
And I'm glad we have Neil there. Neil, I want to as Rafael's coach, I have a question for you. How many more pounds do you think Rafael would need in order to stand next to Samson and be really, really competitive and possibly beat him? And is that possible in the next year or so?
I'd say it's going to be a 2-year process, guys, and probably 8 to 10 pounds.
What did I say, Milos? I feel great.
He said at 5.
I said 5, 6, 7, 8 quality. Yes, maybe 10. But not 20.
Neil,
Milos thought it takes 20 pounds at least.
Yeah, listen, Neil, I mean, what you guys did was phenomenal. This is exactly what he needed to bring. We all love his shape. V-taper, X-frame, round muscle bellies, everything is the next level.
Yeah.
You put, I don't know how many already. If you said that you guys put 12, 15 pounds, that's what Rafael was saying. He would need a similar growth, and that is more than 7, 8. 7, 8 is not so much visible, for monsters like this. I mean, even, take Samson out, put him next to Hadi. Hadi creates illusion of that size. Beautiful shape on Rafael. He needs good, over 10 pounds. And I don't know if it's two-year process or less.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-year process, guys, because listen, you can rush the process, but you start to lose that intricacy of the muscle. We've seen it time and time again with athletes. They balloon up. But what happens, they start to lose that finer detail. It's really difficult. When you start losing that finer detail and intricacy, it's very, very difficult to get it back. And even though, I agree to a certain point with what you're saying there, he needs more than 10 pounds. The reality of it is, if Samson was to lose 10 pounds, and he was to gain that conditioning, that could be the difference between first and second, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing is, when you have those superior lines and structure and beautiful flow like RAFAEL does, and also Samson, okay? It's not just then about muscle, guys. It's about flow, it's about proportions, and it's about nurturing the process. So for me, I feel it's a 2-year process. I definitely feel that we'll definitely be able to gain real quality muscle within that process, maybe 18 months, 2 years, but I'm not going to rush it. You know, it's a work in progress. We know where the destination is, but we've also got stops between now and the final destination. But he gained exactly, I tell you exactly what he gained. He gained exactly 15 pounds compared to his last stage weight on stage, because I was weighing him every 2 hours. And when we left the hotel room, he was 16 pound up from his last stage weight. And realistically, he probably lost maybe a pound, pound and a half after leaving that hotel, because I was still slowly, you know, drip feeding food into him and keeping hydrated. But I felt that the progress and the changes have been very positive with what he brought to the stage. And obviously, we're never going to ruin that structure. You know, like when I go back to what I call the golden era, you know, the likes of Chris, the likes of Sean Ray, the likes of Dexter Jackson, the likes of Ray, all these guys, man, like structure. Okay, Ronnie Coleman won that Mr. Olympia title multiple times. And yes, what did he win? He won
not from structure.
He didn't. He won on conditioning and size, right?
Yeah.
And size. That's what he dominated in. Now, I'm not trying to rely on that there's not going to be a new mass monster which is going to come along in the next 2 or 3 years. But we need to keep our attention where we are. We know that we've got to stay in our lane. We know where our goal is and our destination, and that's where we're going to be staying. We're going to keep that physique flowing, and we're going to mature that muscle and keep adding it. We're not going to lose any separation. We're not going to lose that finer detail, because those smaller, finer details were a massive contributing factor to the likes of Dexter Jackson, who went on to be one of the greatest all-time professional athletes, which I think has possibly had maybe more pro wins than any other athlete, right? Why? Because he built that muscle and he kept that integrity of that detail. So that is where we're headed.
Yeah. Neil, just to clarify, because you jump in maybe in the wrong moment, I was just saying that I didn't see, as Chris said, RAFAEL beating Samson. I say, okay, he was there put to be compared, but he's not ready yet, right? Hey, congratulations. You guys did a hell of a job. Say hi to Rafa.
I thought I'd throw him in there for a second.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
Chris,
hold on. What's up with that rumor from Samson not doing the UK now? What's going on?
That's why I was at the beginning of I woke up to it, and I'm texting him, but he didn't respond at the beginning of the show, and he still didn't respond.
What is that? So he's texted you. He said he's not doing it.
No. I seen the video footage on Instagram.
What video? What did I miss? Come on, spread the news.
There's a video of Samson, and he's saying that he needs to go to the hospital, and he wants to make sure that he's okay. And then after he finds out and he gets feedback from the doctors, he will make a decision as far as if he wants to compete at the Arnold UK. That's exactly what he says.
What's wrong with him?
Now, wait a second, but if he's not contacting Milos, that's not a little bit weird. That'll be the first person I would contact. Would be my coach.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, he didn't respond yet. So
maybe he's in
good,
is he in the hospital now?
No, that's
Is he back? Is he back in England?
Yeah. He flew Monday something. Yeah.
So, and you don't know what's wrong with him, though. Did anybody hear about what is wrong with him? He had stomach problems, diarrhea, nothing. Okay, that will be a huge loss for the Arnold in England for him not being on that stage.
Sometimes you don't feel right. You want to shut it down,
especially because Hardy's going, and that's just, that I don't. Yeah.
Is Hadi sure to go?
Hardy's going. Hardy's going.
I mean, even HANY Rainbow said that they still didn't get the visa, but they hope they're gonna manage it.
For Iranians, it's easier to get a visa for Germany. It's much easier. They all go to Germany, so that's not an issue. I think he told you they don't have it yet.
Yeah, in the interview post Arnold, HANY said that they still don't have it, and it's on him.
Can you imagine both pulling out?
Wow.
That show.
Uh,
Hey, but,
And Rafael is not doing it either, so the top three wouldn't even show up.
it would have been great to have Rubiel in that show.
Shit, Rubiel would, man. Rubiel needs to get off his ass and start fucking doing something, you know, because his hype is about to run out. He needs to get back on track and start doing something. You know,
I think Rubiel against Nick Walker in New York. That's going to be something.
I don't think he's going to New York. Chris, what is he doing? Do you know?
He has to.
I think he's going to New York.
Yeah, well, he should pick another.
Steve Anderson invited him.
He should pick a plan B just in case, you know, because Nick Walker is not losing. Nick Walker is not losing the New York Pro next to him. I don't care. I don't care how big his squats are. That's going to take a little bit to look. Because Nick's gonna be 100% so on because he has to win this show. So what else is around the New York Pro?
Tonio Burton.
No. What other shows are there?
Last year's winner, right?
What other shows are there? You don't want to just get ready for one show. Aren't there any other shows just before New York or after New York?
Oh, it's right there. It's California. I think Chicago. You know, there's a bunch.
Is that all
I don't have a list.
around the same time?
Yeah, back to back.
Look, Chris, what happened?
I was about to go over there, man. What happened?
Go where? Oh,
Where you are?
Oh, okay. I think your screen froze. We talk about. I said that Rubiel can't beat Nick Walker. He's not there yet.
He's got a whole other different degree of muscularity that he don't have right now.
That's why I'm saying, what other shows is on the list for him to possibly qualify for the Olympia this year?
There's always.
You guys just looking at one show?
There's always Dubai. There's always.
But Dubai is in August, right?
No.
July? Yeah, but May and July, that's 2 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So there isn't it. What about the one in Chicago? When is Chicago?
Let me check. Hold on.
Isn't there one in Utah too?
There are two European shows. There is Italy and Spain. Yeah, and before Dubai, and then Dubai was going to be right there.
Spain might be good.
Okay, we have the New York Pro is May 18th, and the California is a week later. And then we have Toronto 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, that's all of that.
Yeah.
All of those stuff. I'd go right to California, man.
So we got that's Masters. So we got the Detroit Pro April 14th, May 18th, the New York Pro May 25th, California State. And then June 9th, it's Toronto. June 16th is to Spain. June 23rd is in Italy. July, Portugal. And then Vancouver.
Yeah, so
and then Vancouver again, July 14th, 13th, and 14th.
May and June.
And Chicago Pro a week after. So there's plenty of shows. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Plenty of shows. He should be able to get one of those shows.
Are we going to see him on stage this year?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. What do you think about this guy, Rubio?
I was gonna say with Samson, I didn't get a chance to say it, but when Samson don't hit a last spread with the vacuum, it looks like he cannot do it, and it looks like other people can do it, and it's not a good look. I know he wants to do his own thing. I'm just saying if I'm looking at in the crowd, from the crowd, it's not a good look. And it makes his chest look smaller, and that's one thing I see the difference between, Haney, when you hit front last spread, that chest is bubbly. And then and that's, it's not a fair comparison, but if we keep comparison like that, that's one thing you got to keep in mind is you need to look thick in that front last spread, thick in that back double bicep and back last spread. And that's where the difference is.
I think his back double biceps improved. I don't know.
Yes.
It improved. It improved.
Yes.
I actually liked his back double biceps. I mean, the more he posed, the better he got.
Yeah, I do. I like it too.
Yeah.
I would say front last spread. Okay. Yeah, but I was just saying, if you don't do that, and then you got Rafael, you got HADI doing that, and then it looks like he just can't do it.
How good? Hey,
What do you think?
How good was about his lat spread? I think the way he's doing
No, what
it,
do you think?
the way he's doing it right now is not the right way to do it. You know, because like I said, he's not controlling his midchecks, and he doesn't have a big waist. He has a small waist, but it's just protruding to the lower abdomen, just sticking out. And it looks like he's not holding it together, and that shows in a couple of poses.
And you can't mess around in 3/4 shots like that, because that's gonna.
It's not really bad. It's just when you stand next to a guy like HADI, who is
But
totally
a trained eye is gonna.
Yeah.
A trained eye is gonna look at that.
Yeah, they're gonna criticize you for it. But how good was John De La Rosa, man? Good old John coming back.
The surprise of the show. Absolutely the surprise of the show.
Coming back from a biceps tear, and then came back last year. He did the show, looked great. He didn't win, but he looked great. Now he's coming to the Arnold. I think that was his all-time best. I wish he would have had a little bit oil on Saturday, because it looked like he didn't put much oil on. And I saw him after, and he told me the same thing. He said he thought it was too much the day before. I said, no, it wasn't. I said, it looked like you, and that's why it looked like he didn't improve, or it got a little bit worse, because I think he looked the same. He's just no shine. You know, and AKIM Williams came out of nowhere Saturday and brought the package that if he would have brought that on Friday, he would have been no less than fourth. Because he got straight fourth.
You know, people think that they're not judging second day, and even competitors, they're not going to judge me.
Yeah.
Sure enough, here he got the straight fourth place after he was seventh at the prejudging.
Yeah.
Right? And I agree with you. If he maybe placed fourth at the prejudging, maybe they would consider him for top 3 at the finals. You know how it is?
Yeah. I mean, they had him next to Rafael, but I think from the back, his back double biceps from AKIM is just not there. It's not, I don't know. He's got somehow that the same issue that Rami had. He's just, I don't know, just losing that muscle in the back double biceps. His lats is good, but his back double biceps, and I think it has something to do with posing, because I had the same problem. It's, you got to learn how to hit that shot right, like a Chris or even you, King. When your back double biceps, you could see everything from top to bottom, you know. But you got to feel it. It's like I never felt my back when I did the back double biceps. It was like I'm just doing this pose for my fucking arms, because I didn't feel anything in my back. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I learned.
I used to try to hit.
This is what I learned. Later, this is what I learned much later, where even when you train, when you don't feel your back, when you do lat pull downs, you're not going to feel your back double biceps. So those are the things that you just got to learn how to do it. And Chris, you always stood in a position where you knew exactly what your back's going to look like. I was just guessing and hoping for the best. It's everybody has some poses where you just don't know how to get it right unless somebody shows it to you. But Chris wouldn't show me shit back then. He shows everybody today, but back then he would never come to me and say, hey, let me help you. Let me help you with your back double biceps. Never once did he offer to help me.
You never asked me. I would have helped you.
Chris, you offer to fucking help everybody. They don't ask you either. Did you just go up there?
Helped.
You go up there and you tell them, I see you message people and say, yo, if you would do this
now you feel like I let you down.
No, you didn't let me down. You kept me away. I guess you were too worried.
Hey, I used to beat up on King over there. King used to get my left and my right on the stage.
You're a good boxer on stage. I'll give you credit. You're a good boxer on stage. But the practice thing, I think AKIM, man, he was for me, it was obvious as soon as I saw him at the night show. I'm like, well, that's a big jump from the day before. Big jump.
I gotta catch my flight, my brother.
Say what?
Do you see my phone? My phone. Do you see my phone?
No.
Nope.
No? Shit.
You ain't catch. What time is your flight?
It's I gotta board.
No. What time is your flight? What time?
Boarding at 2.
You're boarding at 2. You need to leave here. You need to leave here at 1:15. It takes you 20 minutes to get to 15 minutes to get to the airport.
15?
Yeah. Listen, you come here every time. How long does it take you to get here?
But I don't hardly come from here to the airport. I usually go to the hotel and back.
Well, the hotel is what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes from here?
10.
No. Okay, no, you need, at worst,
We
20,
good?
20 minutes to the airport. Listen, we got 10 more minutes anyways, and that's it.
Okay.
Okay? I don't want to let you go before because it's going to look like you left us hanging again and like, all that crazy shit.
Hanging again.
So King, what's going to
Yeah,
happen?
yes, sir.
What's going to, if we look in the future right now, what do you think is going to happen at the Olympia? How hard is it for HANY to prepare number 1 and number 2 guy and not to be biased? Try not to be biased.
I don't think it's going to be
Who
that.
wants another?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that hard. I mean, he's got 2 different athletes, 2 different guys with 2 different.
But what do you tell each one of them? I said, man, you got to win. You got to do this, and the same to the other guy, doesn't it? It's, as an athlete, isn't it kind of shit? Is he giving him more attention to me, or is that possible?
Yeah,
There
it's
might
gonna
be
run through
some
their
of that.
head. They're gonna run through
Yeah.
their head because I used to think that shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, man, he probably made it to the homeboy's room fucking hours ago. I'm here 1:30 in the morning. I'm still
See, I learned the hard way though, because I was the young buck, and here we are working with Chad, and I was always thinking in the back of my head, he's giving something different to Chris, he's giving something different to Ronnie, to Nasser. That's why I was sneaky one time at the Olympia, and I went to Ronnie's room, and when I went to Ronnie's room, I saw half the food in the garbage. I'm like, what the fuck is what's going on? And then I started to put 2 and 2 together. I went to Kim's room, and all she did was carve up on Krispy Kremes. So that's when I started to realize everybody's different. Really no set schedule or set program for each person. He gives attention to everybody. Going back to HANY, I think if I was HANY, I would be telling Derek, you got to crispy this up. You got to get your front all crispied up because from the back.
That's because he's so young and his new muscles. That's what he said.
I know. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 2 seconds.
He said that though, right?
Yeah, but that's genetics. You're not going to be able to. We all understand what genetics are. You can't do that. Number 1. Number 2. What would I tell HADI? Repeat what we just did. That's it.
Can you imagine?
Exactly what we just did.
Yeah. Can you imagine HADI as hard and as dedicated as he is already now, winning the Arnold, probably 2 Arnolds back to back? It's going to kick him in high gear, and he's going to come to the Olympia to prove another point. And I think he's going to do it.
I think he'll lose the back double bicep, but I think he'll win the last spread.
Oh yeah, he wins the
Or
last
something
spread.
like that. But that back double is going to be blistering hard again. It's just going to be up to him what he's going to do with the ab and chest and that front double bicep. That's just they both got a strong front double bicep, but I'm just saying it's going to be very interesting.
HADI does pull the lats crazy, but Derek also have a crazy V-taper, and Derek has a super striated glutes that I don't think HADI can ever get to that level. So we talk about the stupid striated glutes contest, but couldn't be there.
Let's see. Hey, if Rafael wins the Brazil Arnold, do you think he might make that first call out at the Olympia?
I wouldn't be surprised because, listen, first of all, we don't even know who's going to qualify for the Olympia. And how many guys have we not talked about today other than Nick Walker that are still a threat to the top 6? There's Hunter, there's Andre Jacked. Now, we don't know if any of these guys is going to qualify. We don't know. We have no idea what's happening. So, but I think Rafael is on a fast track to a top 6 for sure.
Yeah, but you heard his coach, Neil Hill, right? They're not in a hurry.
I understand that. I understand.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah, I understand that. But I'm still saying if he wins Brazil, he's going to the Olympia, and you're not going to the Olympia to make top 15. He will go to the Olympia, and all he has to do is just get in that crazy condition, and his physique will do the talking. And I think that he is good. He would look really good next to guys like Hunter, and even who else was in the top? Brandon. We got Brandon. We can't forget about Brandon. So he's
Brandon, Andrew Jack, Nick Walker, HADI, Derek, Samson. That's your, and then now Rafael. There's your top 7 right there.
Yeah. Do we miss anybody who can still be a threat?
Reagan might think differently.
Say what?
Like Reagan might think differently. Reagan.
Oh, here we go with that biased coach again. Here we go again. Okay.
Is Rami going to do the Olympia?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. Hey, Milos, what do we not know about Regan now? Regan is coming to do what? What's his plan?
Actually, I'm not allowed to say which show he's entering yet.
Oh my God!
Why is he making it? It sounds like he's a
What's
Hollywood.
with this secrecy, man?
It sounds like he's a
You
Hollywood.
don't want to want to beat him. Or what?
This really sounds like he's like a Hollywood celebrity, and you have to keep it under wrap like anybody gives a fuck.
Look, he had 17 flights in last, 2 months.
Okay. And what does it have to do with him?
From back and forth, Canada here.
That's where his strong point is.
What does have to do with his plans?
listen.
With his plans? What is his plans? When is
Later shows.
Okay.
Later shows, not the beginning.
Yeah.
They wanted him to do the New York. It's too soon. So, unfortunately now we have like so many shows throughout the year. So that's a hurry.
So what do you see with Regan? Because like he's another guy you train. What do you see there that we don't know yet?
Regan with bigger chest and legs, in a very good condition, is super dangerous. I mean, when you put in perspective that he was standing next to Krizo at Olympia, right? And Krizo didn't, overpower him. He actually, Regan looked bigger than him. Okay, that was depleted version of Krizo, but Krizo is a big guy, right? So, don't sleep on Regan. And I think that he got so much motivated because he says, okay, now he cracked the top 10 finally, and he wants to crack top 6 and then go further.
So do you think that he's going to be top 6 this year?
Yeah, of course, there's a legitimate chance for it.
Okay.
I mean, he beat Rafael before, so
I won't do any predictions, and
me neither.
I don't put guys in predictions.
At least you don't do the predictions.
No, but I don't predict guys I can't predict guys that haven't even qualified yet. So he needs to qualify first.
Yeah, that's what Jay Cutler said. Yeah, Jay. And
because I've seen years where top guys didn't even qualify for the Olympia because they chose the wrong shows with the wrong guys in them. So you never know.
Amen.
Because I mean.
And we didn't talk about the Lifetime Achievement Award that Jay did. That was a great speech he did. I thought it was like,
you're just happy he mentioned you, Chris.
well, you guys
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Listen.
No,
I am the gatekeeper to all of y'all's career.
Hey,
All of y'all is my nephews.
listen, Dennis, during Cutler's acceptance speech, 2 things stood out to me. One, the trophy was broken. Was the trophy broken?
Yeah, it was broken.
They didn't even give it to him. They gave him something different,
else.
and they're gonna send it to him. Yeah.
Here, hold on to this.
All right.
No, but
That's number one.
But Jay is a super professional. So the way he did that speech that was spot on. There's nothing you can do or
Even
change
with
it
Ronnie and
to
stuff.
make it better. Yeah. No, actually, I really loved the way he thanked everybody, and that was awesome. Yeah, unbelievable.
But
That's
he
typical
brought
Jay.
accent back.
It's a typical Jay. That's what Jay would do, and he deserves everything he has today because he worked for it. He takes nothing for granted, and he's still doing it. This is what I have the most respect for is he doesn't have to do all the stuff he's doing right now, but he's still out there, he's still hustling, and he's still representing. And there's a lot of guys after Jay that are looking at his blueprint and trying to copy what he did. Because I don't think there was anybody who did it better. Who?
Well, he's probably one of the top 3 most idolized and liked bodybuilders of all time.
Yeah, but why?
He's popular.
But why? Because he is who he is, and he was never fake. Because if you fake something because you want to be popular, because I'm not going to mention any names, but some people want to be popular because they fake, and you can't do that because sooner or later it's going to come out. Your real personality will show, and then you'll know if the people like it or not. So Jay's been the same ever since first time I met him. You know, he's never changed. You know, it doesn't matter. He's not bragging. He's not doing none of that stuff. So, and I like that. I like what he's doing. I like what he's still doing. And I even, you know, steal a couple ideas from him now and then.
And just learn from Jay.
Yeah. King, what are you up to now?
I got online clients, a lot of online coaching.
King.
I've invested in real estate.
Yeah.
I got real estate investments going on. I've invested in crypto.
What did you buy? Because I just now invested not too long ago, and I have
commercial real estate, and also into loans. I know
crypto. Because I have no clue about that shit. I let somebody talk me into it.
I have a guy in the Hamptons. Okay, he's known as the king of propane, a multi-millionaire, greatest guy in the world. Fisher Organizations, this company. I give him money. He takes care of my money.
Okay.
That's the situation that I don't get involved. He's just the sweetest guy in the world. Whenever he needs me, he calls me up. He goes, "Hey man, I got a friend over here in Spain. He's dying. He's fat. Get him in shape. No problem." I saved 20 grand. I send it to him. He invests it for me.
Yeah.
Kamali.
Yeah, so you're like me. We don't know shit about it. We just give the money and trust someone who's taking care of it.
Kamali.
Because it's what's up, Chris?
When you be doing the selfies and shit, right, with your phone, are you pushing up your traps like this? Because you look like your traps be up.
Listen, my daughter gives me shit for that. I don't need to hear shit.
What are you doing?
Right? My daughter actually goes in front of her bathroom and she does this and sends me pictures and goes, "Dad, you look stupid."
Chris, your phone is here. It was right behind my computer screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's what I thought.
So it's here.
Don't be mad. I'm still 270, man. Don't be mad.
You
all
still
right?
270?
I listen. I'm on 2 shots of test a week, 2 shots of Masteron a week. That's it.
Yeah.
No insulin, no IGF, no.
You're running
growth,
big
no
time,
growth.
man.
Yeah, but you still up there with the dose.
That's
You're
because
running.
I eat, and I eat.
Look
And I
at-
get
hey.
fucking blood work done like a lunatic. Every fucking 3 months I
And
get
you're,
blood work.
and you're,
Chris,
and you're
Chris,
Iranian.
Chris eats too.
Yeah, I've seen what Chris eats.
He,
But I just don't
Chris,
take any-
On that
I haven't
lobster
taken
and
any-
steak
Hey,
I
regimen.
haven't taken any shot. I took 1 shot in the last 3 years.
Hey, listen. I asked
Can't do
Chris.
it.
I asked Chris a couple of weeks ago. It was how much you weigh. He said I'm still 265 or something. He said.
I'm 272.
Right now, I guess you 285, man. Come on.
275. 275 max.
When did you last time you check your weight, Chris?
Lately, when I was in Ohio.
Lately.
When I was in Ohio.
I don't know if we should.
I was looking at Chris's video of all the classic guys training. He's bigger than all of them combined.
Bro.
He's definitely 280 plus right now.
280 plus. Do we have a scale here? Because he's here. I'm gonna put him. Hey, Chris, don't do that. Chris, don't let.
Quarter turn.
Chris.
Make a quarter turn, bro.
Chris, don't let me pull up the pictures. I took the screenshots from that video King was talking about.
Hey, feel free to give it to
King is
Nico.
like this.
Chris, can I show one? Chris, can I show one, Chris?
No.
Okay, so if he I give him enough respect not to show it because I showed it to him earlier. I said, Chris, we got to do something, man. It's got to stop, man. He said he's 272. Like he knows exactly how much he weighs. I guarantee, Chris, if I put you on the scale right now in the back of the gym, you're
Let's go.
You're
Let's go.
285.
No.
No clothes on. Anyways, listen, guys, it was fun. Thank you. I appreciate you. King, man, thanks for making the time.
Of course, man.
Milos and Chris, you guys are awesome. We're gonna
Prima Donna made us beg him for months.
Who?
Prima Donna made us beg him for months.
No, King canceled on me because he had to be a dad. He had to be
I
a
know.
dad for another day.
I gotta give him.
I had to, man.
Yeah,
She's in the National Honor Society. I had to go.
Do you have only one daughter, or you have more kids now?
No, I have a son and a daughter.
You have the son is younger though. The daughter is the older one.
Yeah, my son's 13. My daughter's 16.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's
Did
the
you
age.
have that-
That's the age
Did
where you
you
want
have
to be
that talk
careful.
with him?
Yeah, I got to go. As a matter of fact, I got to leave in a few minutes to go to.
Did you have that
dealership.
talk with him yet?
I've had many talks with them, Mr. Cormier. What the hell? Which one are you talking about? The hell are you talking about?
All right, guys.
Hey.
Next Tuesday.
I appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe. Peace out. That was it.
All right, brother. Later, man.